They don't even actually live here like that. They didn't go through Hurricane Harvey. They didn't go through all the shit that we had going through as far as mass shootings and all this shit that we got going on down here. They're not dealing with the farming issue as far as how they're sitting there taking away a lot of benefits from the farmers. And on top of that, black farmers. They're not
Exactly.
dealing with these issues. The thing is, the people are fighting for this. So government officials have nothing to do with the people. We are out here riding for each other out here. It don't matter what color, what race, but first and foremost, it's for us.
But
Houston
Joe,
Rodeo is
ask
coming up.
yourself who
Dallas
is
Rodeo is
voting for
coming
these
up.
officials. Ask yourself who is voting for these officials. They have
It's
to
not
be
us,
elected.
sister.
Who is
It's not
electing
us.
them then? Only
It,
Texas, only people from Texas can elect these people. So
if you
what I'm
have
trying
all,
to get you to understand is that
sister,
I understand
listen,
that all of you have this camaraderie, but some people in your camaraderie are voting these people into office.
sister.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't understand how big Texas is. The people
I
that
do
we know
understand
that
how
are
big Texas
okay,
is.
it's yeah, it's bigger than a lot of other states. The thing is, majority of Texas does not fuck with the government officials over here. We don't even agree with. We don't give a fuck about Democrat or
I
Republican.
understand that.
All of us are conservative. I don't know if you understand what that is. We're conservative. Whatever leans within how we operate as a people, that's what we vote for. It don't matter if you Democrat or Republic. We say that those are two different wings of the same bird. So this is both crooked. That's how
I
we
have
see
a
shit down
question.
here.
Dope.
I
I
have a
never.
question.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cool J.
No, I was going to kind of change the not the subject, but the narrative. The question I was going to ask: how did uh, back in the day, in the 20s and the 30s, these black towns get created before they was destroyed? And can that be done today?
Definitely.
No.
Corsicana, Limestone County, Mahia, um, uh, damn near. There's a lot of cities in Texas that are still black owned till this fucking day that I
Okay.
visit. They're still there. They're still black owned towns, bro. I'm telling you. Black owned
Yeah.
farmers. Majority of Houston, when we have Houston rodeos and I go over there, majority of the owners of these cattle are black people. The Houston rodeo is specifically black people. In Dallas, when anybody's asking for cattle to have anything, they're training horses, anything like that in Dallas. I work on a ranch. I live on a ranch. I live on
Uh-huh.
one. So one of those things is it's majority black. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? It's
Got
majority
you.
black. So like I don't see any white people on this shit. The only thing they doing is taking care of black people's shit over here.
You know what?
Really,
I think.
because that's
Oh,
it,
I'm
bro.
sorry. Go ahead,
No,
Jay.
that's all I'm saying. Because in Houston,
Oh,
from Conroe all the way down to Richmond, Texas, in Houston, everything as far as property that's owned in Houston, Texas, is owned by black people, and that's a known fact. From Dallas, a majority of shit that's owned in Dallas is owned by black people. Austin is different. It's multicultural. It's a weird fucking city. It's different.
it seems like
You know what I'm saying?
it seemed like to me myself, that in order for black folks to have what we had back in the 20s and the 30s, we have to move outside the metropolitan area. Because I think as long as we in the city, we under control,
Yeah.
and we don't have it. You know what I
Well,
mean?
if you're not looking at the mistakes of those black-owned towns, then sure, you would think that way. But like at the end of the day, if you're under a government that don't want you there, they just take it away.
We
That's
say
what they
fuck
do.
them. Like the way we say is fuck them because we live out in the country. I'm country as fuck. I live in the country every day. A lot of people I know live in the fucking country. You don't that even fucking police can't step on our fucking private property. It's fuck them. And it's like I'm not speaking on a personal level. It's anybody within 2 acres of me too. Whether you're white, black, or Hispanic, anything like that. We don't fuck with them like that. Everything is owned by us. We don't fuck with them like that. We hate putting even money in people's pockets. The police officers and even what they got going as far as them fucking up. We're trying to get rid of that. It needs to be put in their pockets. They need to take shit out of their pockets when they're abusing black people. When they're sitting there killing black people, we're pushing for that type of shit. Even if they're doing shit like that, then we're trying to vote for that type of shit. We don't care about that shit as far as white, black, anything like that. If I can sit there and be at work right now, or even in the morning, I can rely on my neighbor to make sure my kid is fed, or they're at their house next door to where until I get home and I get off of work. That's how it is. It takes a village. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. Over here, I live on the FM road. It's called a farm market road. It's not just a street that's called something. They don't have a name on it. We live on in the country land. You know what I'm saying? Everybody takes care of everybody. Don't matter what the fuck color you are. If I'm out of town and my family's out of town on work, the neighbor's gonna wash my fucking house. And they got a key to my fucking house to make sure ain't nothing fucking going on. And it don't matter what race you are. It's different. It's very different. You know, and even at that, I still focus more so on my people too, to where we can get on that same point, on the same path, to where we can do the same shit for each other. That's one thing I really want to push within our people. We should be able to do that without having to look behind our backs and make sure somebody ain't taking nobody shit.
The mindset.
That's how
That's
we need
what
to
I be
operate.
talking about. That's what I be talking about, though. But like, I feel like you're not understanding my point of view when it comes to this situation. Like, I get what you're saying. Like, your community, y'all work together. But what I'm saying is, those same people in your community are still voting for these flawed attorneys and these flawed politicians that's making it harder for all people to be better. That's what I'm saying. So as much as like it's cool that everybody is cool with each other, but these people that are in there changing history, changing the history books, making it harder for inner city black kids to go to school, they are being voted in by your neighbors.
But a lot
So
of
as
the
cool
Yeah,
as
she
they
got a
want to
point there.
be,
Yeah, good
as
point there.
cool as they want to be, they still are on your downfall, and you don't even know it, and you're
That's not
fighting me about
true.
it.
I'm not fighting. That's not true. I
I
know
just want
understand.
to
It's
say
hard for you
something
to
real quick.
So you
understand.
know
Let me
exactly
go
how
back
everybody
to
you know votes. That's what
It,
you're telling me. You know how they vote.
I know my lawyer is two houses away from me. Okay, the judge that I know that I had to serve, I had to actually present myself to. Not even 2 months ago, he lives the next street away.
Does
You know what I'm
that mean
saying?
you know how he voted? Does that mean
No, I
anything?
don't.
I asked you exactly. I asked you how are they voting? Can you say without a certain of a doubt you know that these people aren't voting for these people that's ruining the state?
Yes, they don't believe in that bullshit which how
Okay.
on this mass level, they're not with that shit. I'm
All
so
telling
right.
you, they're not with that
what you
shit.
have to keep in
Then these
mind,
people magically get voted into office. That's basically what you
No,
Jackson,
no, no.
said.
Jackson,
They don't.
Mississippi is primarily black. Is honestly the blackest city in this nation,
That's a fact. Other than Philadelphia,
and
Mississippi.
they going through hell because they're in a Republican state. They vote
Mm-hmm.
liberal, and they do not give, and they only vote liberal because that's the only way to get black people a chance and power. So Jackson, Mississippi, also with the water crisis that they've been going through, has been shut out, and they've been putting it on them as like niggas don't know how to run their own town because of the white folks who is the governor and so forth control the resources. This is the same state that says that black history can't be taught as earlier than the year 1970. So red,
But
blue,
where do
that
you get these
bullshit don't
statistics
matter.
from, bro? Because Mississippi, um,
It's the
it's one of
blackest
those
state in the union. It's the blackest
in the
state.
United States of America. I have a lot of buddies, even on here on Beagle Fire. I can name a lot of people, bro. They have all of them on land, and they don't have these issues. So, are you getting
This is what I be
statistics from the
talking
website?
about. That's
So,
two
I'm
people
not here for
against all of
conjecture. Look at the
Mississippi.
facts. Look at
I
the
said that's
facts of
not two
Jackson,
people. I'm just
Mississippi.
saying I know a
So
But
lot
but
of
look
people
at the
from
listen,
facts.
Mississippi. I have
Google
family from there.
Jackson, Mississippi. It's demographics and how the people are treated there. They can't get fresh, clean water because they have to give us, the state has to give a substantial
I
part
gotta share this
of the
family to these
state
people,
money
bro.
to that city. And they're saying, hell no, let them niggas suffer. That's
I gotta
reality.
share this.
Google it.
I
Google
know
it.
a few people from Mississippi, and I'm gonna share this panel to
Jackson,
them and
Mississippi.
let them tell you.
Google it. It's the
No, like,
blackest
not
city
for
in the union.
nothing. This is what I be talking about, dope. Like, somebody really just came up here, gave you statistics, and you just refuse to believe it. But I could take
I'm
everything
not gonna
you say
believe it
about
if I
Texas.
don't know. Look, I know people who live there.
Dope, I wish you let me finish a thought before you cut me off.
No,
It's
I'm not
like,
gonna believe that. If I know people who live there, they're gonna be like, "That's bullshit," because I live there. What are you gonna
So
take
the
someone that you
water
gonna go to the
crisis is a
source
lie. Is
and
the water
believe
crisis a
that, or
lie?
you gonna say that it's you don't live there and just believe whatever you're being presented to, what is presented to you?
They have no
You have
clean
to
water in
understand.
Jackson,
I mean,
Mississippi.
at the end,
Is that the lie? Is that what you're not believing? What part did you not believe? It's the
As
blackest
far as
state. Is they have no water, or the governor is denying them resources because it requires a significant portion of the state's budget, and they said no.
as far as
What part you
the
don't
fact
believe?
that you said that they don't have clean water. The other part is
Okay, you
the
don't
other
believe
part.
that.
But hold
Okay,
on,
okay, I'll get that for you.
listen. The
I'll get
other
that for
part I don't agree with. Yes, they do not. At certain parts of Mississippi, they don't have clean water. But the other
This
part
is
that you're saying, I
specifically
don't agree with.
Jackson,
That's all I'm
Mississippi.
saying.
This is Jackson, Mississippi. It's just Jackson. We're
Yeah,
just
that's
talking about
just
Jackson
Jackson. But
and
you
how the
talk, you got
governors and
Philadelphia.
mayors
You
prior,
got
who before black
yeah.
people had control, they would not do anything to fix the issue. And then when they have a black mayor who says we're going to fix this issue, they put it all on him. And the context is you niggas don't know how to run shit. That's the
Oh
context
man,
of it.
they know how to run more shit over there than we do know how to in Texas, bro. I'm just being honest with you. Them people in Mississippi, the black folks, they own their shit. I'm just
I
being honest.
I like their unity because they're
Yeah,
not
they are
allowing.
very united.
But that's the South. That's only because you haven't been exposed to all groups of people like those who live in the cities. That's the only reason. I've lived
Yeah,
in
we
red
country, bro. Like
states.
all we know is country. I know Louisiana, I know Mississippi, I know
Right.
Alabama, I know Georgia, I know Louisiana.
I,
Southern states. That's all I know because I'm from the South.
I come
I
from what
know.
they
I've been
call the
there.
home of the KKK in the state of North Carolina. So I know
Yeah,
about where they have open marches of Klansmen. That's where I grew up. I moved to
understood.
Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. So I understand historically red states and historically blue states. So I've seen both sides. So
Yeah,
neither
understood.
one is perfect. But the same thing of it is black people like to lie in the laurels of we have it better here. Why did they fight so hard for the civil rights bills? Why was the fight so hard? They did it because of we were blocked out of mainstream. We were easy to be pushed to the side, cities burned and whatnot outside, redlining and so forth. And we couldn't get opportunities outside the United States. If you wanted an album like the Temptations or Five Heartbeats, you had to have a white man's face on the cover. So they had ways to keep us down, and that's why they fought for civil rights. So even when they had more, all the businesses, all this, that, and the third, they were still locked out. So we can't revert back to people who say black capitalism or we all go live in the country and compounds and shit. It always fails and it will fail because human interest.
I don't agree fully on that. But everything you said before that, you can't say that.
It has failed. Only thing you can name is
that's
that
not
has
true,
not
bro.
failed.
We
That's
are
still to this day
flourishing
a
down here.
straight way, and it's an Israelite camp. So I've been
I
around.
don't.
And I've
I'm not an
seen.
Israelite, brother. I'm just saying we
Well, I'm saying is
flourish
they're successful
in the South.
They're successful. That's what I'm saying. Is that they're successful and they're able to keep things running. But for something like that to exist, you kind of have to do some fucked up shit. Now, whether they're doing it or not, who knows? I'm not in the camp. But what I'm saying is the fact that we can't revert back. We live in a modern day society, and we're all not gonna go hold hands and live in the motherfucking country, eat squirrels and shit.
I honestly would hope that a lot of our people do. Sorry to interrupt you. I would
Mm.
hope a lot of my people move to the country. I hope that y'all do.
I get
Cause
But
that.
why?
Because
But would it matter if we're still under the same system? Like wherever you move, you're still under the same government. You
I
do realize that?
understand that, but understand the reason why I say I would hope that you move to the country. Me being here, and I've lived in the city before, and I've grew up majority of my life in the country, and I had to come back to the country. I lived in the
it's
city for
cheaper.
3 years.
That's it.
I
That's the
had
only
to
thing you
come
can
back.
say.
It's
It's
cheaper. The
cheaper.
only thing is, the thing is,
It's only benefit.
lived in the country. You have a connection to a lot of things. You have connection
Not
to a
really.
lot of things. Nature. You can go fishing. It's private property. You everything that happens. You're
What
teaching yourself
about
to
your
You're
hold on.
responsible
brain?
for.
You're
You're
teaching
responsible
yourself
for.
survival. You're connecting with nature. Everything like that.
You can
Everything,
do
bro.
that in
It's
the
not.
city. You have people who are trained for that. They can teach you how to live off the land and everything in the city. There's
Right.
programs
They
to
I
do all of
offer
that
that
in
in
understand
the
the
that,
city.
but
city.
what I'm
Whatever you
saying
have,
is
we
on
do
this
that in
level,
the
there's
city.
nothing out here. There's not a hospital. There's not a hospital within
You got
12
guns.
miles of
That's
me.
it.
You know what
You
I'm
can
That's
saying?
shoot guns
sad.
There's
out
no
in the city. That's the only thing
hospital
you
out
have.
here that's very close to me. There's nothing
That's
out here. There's
scary.
the closest grocery store is miles from me. Okay, so I know how to
And that is not
survive.
alluring, brother.
No, no.
Why is
The
that
That's
thing
not
not
is, it's not.
alluring.
alluring?
The thing is, anything I need as far as not having a grocery store close, I can have it here and get it from here because we grow, we
People grow
fish,
in the
we
city.
hunt,
Have you
we
heard of
do all.
vertical
No,
farming?
we're not going to
Have you heard of
grocery stores for these things.
have you heard of grow tents and grow houses that are inside? People
We're
doing
not
that in the
talking about grow
cities.
tents. I'm talking about actually walking outside. You have a garden and walking
They
outside. You have a
there's
stock
people who have
pond. We call them
condos.
tanks out here. And going outside, seeing deer, seeing squirrels, seeing everything out there that you can hunt and fish and actually have and plant for yourself.
Look,
That's
we
right
all
there
ain't
in
into
front of you.
eating deer, brother. We ain't into eating deer, bear, and all that because of the
I'm not
worms
saying
and
we're here
whatnot
to
and
eat it,
nuggets.
but if you know how to survive around these things, coyotes, wolves, whatever you want, whatever's out here that we have, if you know how to survive around it, it's a good thing. That's a good thing. You will know how to survive.
We
That's why I
get
love the
all
country.
that. That's a different, you know what I mean, like area and lifestyle. But again, not no state, say for instance, states wanting to break away. There's only like two states that can probably do it. Texas being one of them because of oil, and Florida potentially, but I don't think they could do it. California can do it. I know California is one of them. They can break away from the union and they can be completely their own country. So if states can't do it, what makes you think you can do it? And black people have no funds. We have no reparations. Black people won't get any further than where we are unless we have reparations. That's the
We
truth of the
have
case.
unions. We have unions. We have a lot of organizations down here. We have
So if
brotherhoods.
states
We have
can't do it,
unions.
if whole states can't do it, if Virginia wanted to break away from the rest of the nation, it can't do it. It can't
And
financially do it. It can't resources do it. It cannot do it. They
they
say that
need to have that. That's the issue I'm saying. They need to have unions, bro. The thing is, our people need to focus on union. That's the focus. Is union.
no, the
When I
focus
work in the
is
plants, if I work in any trade that I do that I've accumulated throughout my lifetime, as far as trade, it's within a union. If anything, I take 13% of out my check what I have or what I make and put it within my brotherhood. And if I happen to get injured, if I happen to have a situation to where I don't have money, I've invested and my brotherhood has me. My union has me for me and my family. We have that here in Texas. We have this.
well, guess what?
Nobody is
Majority
gonna
of northern
fail.
cities have unions and they're good. They get paid really well and they don't have to
That's
live
fine, bro. I
on
make
no
$34
woods and none of that.
an hour and $105 a day per diem. It doesn't matter. We make the same amount of money.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Look at the cities. The cities make way more money. I lived in both. They make way more money.
Bro,
You
you can
can't
find
make what
somebody
you
that
make in
make
Texas
$35
and live in
an
DC.
hour and $105 a day per diem. I will go to up north if they make more. I promise you I would. The
They
thing
make
is,
more. You have to. You cannot live in those areas if you don't.
Yes,
That's why they
that's
call it the
not
that's
true.
Commonwealth.
it's called the cost of living. So the cost of living is way cheaper in Texas than it is in New York. So
That's a
we
lie.
naturally, it is
No,
it's not a lie.
It's called the
cost of living
Commonwealth.
in Texas
Google it.
is way cheaper than New York City. New York City is the most expensive place to live in America, let alone in this country. Like New York ain't no joke. But that's why our minimum wage for McDonald's workers is at $20 an hour because it's so high to live here. So it kind of like every state has its own balancing system of where the minimum wage should be and where the cost of living should be. But what I find in the South is that the minimum wage and the cost of living don't necessarily add up.
That's the craziest thing because majority of the cities that have a high cost of living are in the fucking South. If you look it up.
No,
If
no,
you look
they're in the
up,
north.
if you
You're
look up
trying to tell me that New York is not the
Georgia,
most expensive. New York
Alabama,
City is
look,
the most
Mississippi is
expensive
number
place to
one.
live.
No, it's
Mississippi
not.
is
They're one
number
of the
one.
cheapest states in the union. Alabama,
Oklahoma.
Arkansas, Mississippi. They're the cheapest states. So the Commonwealth from Connecticut all the way down to Northern Virginia, if you do not make somewhere between, they say the last article said $70,000 a year, you're pretty much going to be living paycheck to paycheck. Can you say that from all the way up from Connecticut all the way down to Northern Virginia, you can't make it? You cannot make it. You will be on some food stamps or something if you don't have it. And people who have lived in these
I
areas
wish I
know.
had food stamps, bro, and I had to make at least $6,000 a month, at least.
And again,
At
when she was
least,
talking about the
even if I'm not
policies,
working,
that's
I have to
that
make
flaw
$6,000 a
in
month.
conservative red state policies.
Exactly.
I'm
We're
not
talking about policies and you keep on bringing it back to farming and things of that nature. Like, yes, I know farming is very important. Yes, we should be teaching Black people how to be more independent and learn different things. Yes, I agree with you. But that conversation could only go but so far. You know what a bigger conversation is? The actual issues in our government. That's an issue. And it's like we're constantly trying to convince people that it's an issue before we can even get to a solution. Like you can sit there and literally say, yo, Texas is literally taking out history from the history books. They're telling their kids that they're not letting you learn about Black history. And you're like, oh, well, I got a farm. And it's like, what the hell is a farm going to do?
I'm not saying, oh well, I have a farm, and you know
But
that's
that's
not
what
what I'm saying.
I know. I'm just funny. I'm sorry. I'm sarcastic. You're gonna understand my personality sooner better than later. I
That's
promise.
bullshit.
I'm just, but like it was just a joke. But that's what it feels like when every time I'm talking about like the issues of the state and government, and then we go back to individual what we need to do. Because like I understand that you don't have a problem with white people. I don't have a problem with white people neither, like at all. Like most of the schools that I went to were white. I have mad white friends. It's just that I know that they be voting flaw. The way they vote is flawed. The way their parents vote is flawed. The way they vote can detriment me and my kid because I live in a certain neighborhood that can be influenced.
That's my whole point. Get out of those type of neighborhoods.
No,
But
she's
then you
saying
live
your
in-
neighborhood, your type
No,
of
within my
neighborhood.
neighborhood,
Your
shit.
neighborhood too. Your
No,
school
it's
is
not.
going through the same thing my
No,
school would go
no,
through. But
no.
not for nothing,
That's
New York
not
is way more
true.
liberal.
They're not talking about taking Black history out of our textbooks in liberal cities.
No,
That's
listen
something
to what
we
I'm
don't have to
saying,
deal
bro.
with.
I'm in Texas, bro. How you gonna tell me this is not a
But
problem,
it's
bro?
on the news
My
every
two
day.
older
Like I
kids
could
go
Google
to
it.
my two older kids are in private school. My other two, I have 5 kids, bro, and they're all in private school, bro.
Why
Like
don't they go to
And
public
guess what
school?
Donald Trump was pushing
because
with
I
Betsy
have the
DeVos,
opportunity to put them
Amway,
in private
charter
No,
school.
but
schools.
why don't they go to public school? I understand you had the opportunity to put them somewhere better, but why
Exactly.
wasn't public school the good choice? Why wasn't that the
It
good
just,
choice?
I made the
Because it
choice that
sucks, right?
no, not
Because
because
the
it
school
sucks.
itself sucks.
No, are you listening? It's not because of that. Don't
Yeah,
make
I'm
that assumption.
listening.
That's what we have here. So I'm gonna give them whatever they want to go to within our county. What they have here, I'm gonna give them the best within this county. It's not because I didn't want to put them in public school. The closest public school is within 6 miles away, and the private school is 2.3 miles away. I'll put them in private school. What's the issue? Like it
The
doesn't
issue
matter.
is if the public schools is free and if it was the better choice, like you said it was, they be going to public school because that's 6 miles.
Exactly.
It's not your gas that is taking them there if it's public school. It's the buses. It's called public education. I don't
We
know if you
don't.
got
They don't
that.
take buses, bro. They don't.
Well, they do in the country area I was. Buses came out there. What's wrong with your area?
That may be you, but we take our kids to school.
Whoa, so public schools do not have buses in your area.
I'm not saying they don't. I'm just speaking on what I'm telling you. Everybody on Farm to Market Road that we're at, the buses don't come out here like that.
Why they don't come
We
out
take our kids to school.
there? Why?
Buses don't come out on FM Road. You know what the FM Road is?
Is that dirt road?
We don't have names for our roads. It's called FM 160, FM 167.
So
I'm
that
in the
sounds like
country,
that's a
bro.
flaw, and again, another downside that you just
That's not a
named
downside.
to why
We got
that's a
private right here.
downside, brother.
That's
That's
not,
if
bro.
my car breaks down and I work from home and I can't take my kids to school because we live on an FM road. That's bullshit. So thank goodness that country area I came from, they were sedity enough that even though I lived on a dirt road, they made sure the buses came down it.
There's no issue. Somebody gonna take them.
Oh hell no!
You don't, it's like the problem. You don't even hear the you don't hear the negative in what you're saying because you're stuck
I
on
really don't.
state.
I really don't.
Right, because you're stuck on state pride. Like, I feel like I'm talking to dope state pride and you're like defending your state. Like, if we want to switch, we can talk shit about New York. Like,
I don't have nothing negative to say about New York. I can only speak about where I'm at. But the only thing is, like, that's where
right,
we are.
but like,
Right?
see, that's the thing. It's called critical thinking. Like, I don't have to live
If my
in
car break down, I'm taking my golf cart right here, and I'm gonna drop in the golf cart, and I'm gonna drive them 2.3 miles and come right back. I'm gonna put them on something else. I got
Man,
forward.
said
It doesn't matter.
Well, we got
I'm
slingshots.
glad that
We got
you have that
slingshots out here.
opportunity.
We
I'm
making
glad
up
you have
we
that
can afford
opportunity,
slingshots.
but like I just looked up the worst, the lowest for education in the United States, and it turns out to be Alabama, Mississippi, Oregon,
Facts.
Oklahoma, South Carolina, West Virginia, Arizona, Louisiana, Alaska, and New
Louisiana,
Mexico.
and
What
yeah, New
do
Mexico.
all of these states have in common? What color do you think they are?
Of course,
They got that Pyru color. That's them Pyru
so of
states.
course we know that they're red states. They're Republican states.
Right. So this is what I'm saying. It's not a coincidence that red states are miseducating people. It's not a coincidence. Like, they're doing it on purpose. And that's what I be trying to get people to understand.
Oh wow!
Because as
That's
long as
crazy.
they're miseducating people on purpose, it's like you're trying, like, for you want to change everybody individually. So even for your plight that you want to handle, that's like I said, like standing in front of a computer, in front of a conveyor belt, you get a bunch of red hats and you want them to be blue. Instead of going around to the computer and changing the settings, you're trying to paint every individual hat blue as they come out. You're gonna fail. It's just not gonna work that way. You gotta change the settings.
Nobody's trying to change settings. We don't give a fuck about red or blue. We don't give a fuck about that.
So you don't give a fuck about. So you don't care about the unity. You don't care because, like, if I'm telling you that they're miseducating a good portion of us at a high rate, and you don't care about any of that stuff, you only care about your road and where you live, then you don't care about the unity of all people.
So
You just
my
care about the
personal life
people that
and
you
throw
know.
my personal life and my perception in the trash. In Louisiana,
What?
in Texas, in Oklahoma, in Atlanta, or even Georgia and Florida and all these southern states, they have more scholarships and all this shit. I'm telling you, it's happening down here. It's happening. I'm telling you, it's fucking. They get fucking multiple scholarships within all these students. Like 90% of the students in high school as seniors are getting scholarships or even more than one scholarship. It's
In
not,
your private school,
not
are
new.
you talking about the private school that your kids
No,
go
not
to?
private schools. I'm talking about even in public schools. Look it up on the internet. It's happening.
So you do know
Saying
blue
that
states
it's
have
not
way more
happening.
money
Oh,
on
sorry.
average than
I'm not worried about red or
states,
blue
right?
states. I'm talking about what's happening in the South.
We're
Stop
talking in
talking about red
context.
or
We're not
blue.
speaking in a
I'm not
vacuum
bringing it
like
there.
you. We're adding context to it. You're speaking with no context. So the blue states have way more money than the red states, and the ones who do have the same or close to money, it's Florida, Texas. That's it. I can't think of anything. Can anybody else name another red state
No,
that has
because you don't
money
know nothing
like that?
about this. Come on, bro. Stop.
We're
It used
being
to be
fair.
Georgia, but
Context.
not
I
Georgia
asked, hey, can
anymore.
anybody name any other red states? Florida,
Well,
Arizona. I give Arizona. That's it. The rest of them are poor, broke,
Talking about on the
hard,
fucking
and
political
shit.
level, like stop. We don't say red or blue states around here. Nobody gives a fuck about that.
That's what
But
rules
that's
the
part
world,
of the
brother.
problem, though. That's part of the
Right.
problem because, like, at the end of the day, if I could recognize that your contribution to the black community is the farming, is the inner work, why can't you recognize that my part of the contribution to the community is changing the policies? That's what I want to contribute.
How can you change the
And like
politics? So
you
okay. When
fighting
it comes
me
to
for it.
voting, we all know when it comes to voting, whether you're Democrat or Republican, what vote matters the most? What vote matters the fucking most?
Blocks.
At
They
what
go by
level?
blocks. It's a block
At
system.
what level? At what level?
The state, of course.
No. At what
You
level?
talking about electoral college? Those are still ran by blocks. What's your
And that's
point?
Exactly. But
actually,
at what
and the
what
electoral,
point?
let's talk about
The
it. The
federal
electoral
level, is that what
college
you're
was
talking
made
about? The
through
presidential?
slavery. We could talk about it. How that's rooted in slavery and to give the slave states
Okay, so why
some
is
more
we
voting
fucking
powder.
voting to this shit?
Wait, what'd you say?
First of all, I no longer vote because I noticed that black people don't give a hell about voting. So
Okay.
black people don't care
I mean,
about voting and black people don't care about policies, unfortunately. But what I do is try to influence black people to care about this stuff because you do have to care about this stuff, regardless if you feel like your block is set. At the end of the day, the entire state is not set because as much as you feel like your block is good, the state of Texas is not good. That's why y'all went a whole week with no lights. Right? Wasn't that like recently when y'all had like to go a week
it
or
was
two
2
with
years
no
ago. We went a
electricity?
week.
That's
It was
why
2 years
you
ago.
have
We
Juneteenth.
went a week without power
You have
because we
Juneteenth.
have our
Don't
own
forget about your
grid.
Juneteenth.
And your
No,
own
no.
government was in
Hold on.
another
So I'm
state.
explaining to the sister. So it was a week that we went without power because of the grid. We have our own grid. Texas has its own grid separate from the rest of the
Right,
U.S.
that they wasn't paying attention to. There was a
No,
whole
it
thing.
wasn't that. It wasn't that we weren't paying attention to it.
All
It
right,
was
let
a
me go
weather. It was
Google
a
it because
weather.
I
It was a
know it was a
weather
whole
That's
grade.
still
corruption.
Texas.
It was a
That's still
weather
Texas.
grade issue. It had to do with weather grade, and that's what did it. That's
What?
it.
What happened? What happened in June? And we had to go without power for like 5
For like
days.
a week in Texas, you remember that?
East Texas, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So it was a
shit, my
weather grade
bad.
issue. So yeah, it was a weather grade issue. So there was no maintenance done.
But
Man,
this is
Understanding
as of hold on, as of January 17th. Y'all electrical grade remains vulnerable to extreme weather events because y'all not doing nothing about it. Your government is
no,
not
that's
doing
a
anything about
lie.
it.
Though
right.
we're getting more into solar panels and wind turbines right
Yeah,
now. You
yeah,
can't say we're
no,
not
we
doing
are.
anything about it.
Right. Yeah, you can get tax write-offs if you have solar panels on your house and shit like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a tax write-off. What I'm talking about is that
Where you
your
from?
electrical grade it
Where you
remains
from?
vulnerable. It remains
No,
Where
it's
you
not
vulnerable
from?
true
for
because we have wind turbines and solar panels. It doesn't matter the weather grade with the
Yeah.
wind turbines and solar panels. They store
But
store
the
power.
weather is
It's
controlled
not the
by the
same as just
government.
the electrical grid. You're lying.
So what's so funny about you bringing up the solar panels? If southern states they have to do a lot to conserve their money. They're taking people's tax dollars and not giving it back because liberal cities have a lot of money coming in from multiple ways.
Still
That
on liberal and Democrat, bro.
they have a lot of money in comparison to the red states. And plus, people tend to live in enclaves and tenement buildings and so forth.
Man,
So there's a
I'm
lot of money
in
being
Texas
made.
right now.
So North Carolina tends to be a historically red state, but it's starting to flip flop nowadays. Does not allow solar panels or you to collect
Texas-
rainwater.
Texas
Why
about
don't
to
they
do
do
that,
this?
man.
Is to hoard
Listen.
resources and money so that they
Hey, hold
can
on.
fund things that when there's issues such as what you're
I
having,
digress,
they
bro.
can
You
easily
got
Listen,
it by
hold
three
on.
to handle this because
Hold-
they don't understand
Let
what's
me-
going on in
let me
Texas.
just-
No, I'm
say this.
explaining to you how
Let me
and
just-
why you
hold
can go a
on. Let
whole
me
week
just-
and we don't have to
no.
deal with that shit. We can
No,
go
listen
through
to me. Listen to me.
Floyd, all these
Oh
different
my
hurricanes,
goodness.
and we
Oh
don't have
my
to deal
goodness.
with it because they have the
Man,
funds to do so.
Fuck
Because
that, man. Your
everything is
fucking
hoarded.
weather is bullshit.
So
There ain't no one at a time,
you
yo.
cannot collect rainwater in the
Alright,
state of
I'm
North
gone.
Carolina.
He ain't gonna
You
fuck with me.
cannot have solar
I'm gone.
panels on your homes
Peace.
in the state of North Carolina. And the state of North Carolina has a lot of money. And why can't you do this? Because they say you're robbing from the electric, gas, and water companies. They do that as well as ABC stores. Nobody in the state of North Carolina, when you have these ABC stores, you can't get alcohol anywhere, even businesses. They have to go through ABC. So the state has a calcification of wealth, a bank, to where that when they have natural disasters, they have plenty of money to handle it.
That makes what the fuck are you conspiracy theorist? Or what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Where did you get this from? Because it's not making any sense.
So rainwater, you being able to collect rainwater or solar panels cuts on your bill, which means that the gas and electric companies miss out. So by them missing out and the water companies, you're able to conserve. They don't do that here in North Carolina. The
Hey,
state
that's
has
not
to
my
make
that's not the issue.
all
I'm
the
telling
money.
you what's going on in Texas, bro. If
What I'm
you
saying
that's
is
you have
when
that
we have
issue over
issues
there,
like your grid
come
or
to
whatever,
Texas.
when we have issues, we can easily handle it. Now, we don't like it, all these different things. Marijuana is not legal, all these other things that we have to deal with in our state. But when in state of emergencies, the state of North Carolina can easily remedy these situations because it just throws money at it. That's why that's the
Texas
point I'm
can
getting at.
too, bro. Texas can too. It's
Texas
like
can
100
to a
fucking.
degree. But what I'm
What do you
saying
mean
is
to a
that
degree?
when you have policies, they're so tight with the money and opportunities that they make sure that it stays at the top. Texas is, I'm sure, it's a little bit more liberal in a sense than North Carolina in that
It's
respect.
it's red, bro. I didn't say it's more liberal. It's red.
I get that. So was North Carolina, but I'm saying in that respect that it's we're a little bit more redder than you in
I don't
that
know if you
respect.
know who Mr. Hot Wheels is, Attorney General, the nigga in the wheelchair that we can't fucking stand, that little white dude that nobody can fucking stand. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't understand how y'all have all these officials that y'all can't stand when
It
all of
doesn't
y'all
matter. We
voting.
still, even though we can't
It
stand the
does
motherfuckers,
matter. Like that's the problem. It
we
does
know how.
matter.
Even at that, we still know that what they're doing and their policies. We still do what the fuck we need to. Like you know what I'm saying? We
Right.
still
So
do
when I
it.
say that it's
Hell.
complacent,
He
don't
might as
see.
well say we get it out in the mud, y'all. You
I
might as
don't
well say
understand
that
why
all the
when I
day.
say it's being complacent, you get upset then because you're literally saying you don't wanna change things, you wanna live within it, you wanna maneuver and work around it. So you want to
Nope.
be complacent within the system. That's
Nope.
fine.
And you're conservative. Conservative means you believe in no change. Democrat
I don't believe.
means
I don't
believe
believe
in.
in don't change. What are you talking about, bro?
So I'm talking to somebody who knows politics. Take a politics 101 class or just Google it.
I
Conservative
believe in
means
change.
in a political
I
structure,
believe
you
in
believe in
change.
no change. Democrats or liberals believe in slow change. And then you have the radicals and revolutionaries, which I am, fast and rapid change.
Yeah,
So
I'm definitely
I
a
keep my
revolutionary.
culture.
one or two.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. This is insane.
It is because I'm constantly trying to convince you that policies is an issue, and you
You
fight
clearly believe in no
me about it.
change.
Okay,
You
if you
fight me
did
on
something,
it.
say so. If I just bought a new truck, right?
Hmm.
And if I bought a new truck, I just bought a brand new truck. The best thing I ever did was give myself a LCC and make it a farm truck to where I didn't have to pay on that truck, and it was considered a business truck over here.
Right.
There's something that I did not have to take out of. You know what I'm saying? It was less
Hmm.
money. It's something I could write off due to business. Okay,
Right.
we know how to maneuver even when we have policies. It doesn't matter if it has to be over a certain amount of weight, over 2,000 some pounds. You know what I'm saying? We have
So what are you
this.
invested
These
in?
are things we do
What are you
to
invested
where we
in the
write
stock
shit
market?
off. If we, huh?
What are you invested in the stock market?
In the stock market, I do Doge. In
Stock market, not
stocks,
crypto. I say stocks, not
um,
crypto.
in stock market. Oh, stocks. I don't invest in stock. I do. I got my
Okay.
401k.
Well,
I
you got the
invest into
LLC the same as
I
I have
invest
the
in
LLC. I
401k
get
and
all
I
that
Wait,
invest
stuff to
y'all
the
into
over
right folks
talking
with
each
good
other.
livers in the city.
Y'all over talking each other. Y'all starting to over. I couldn't hear what
yeah.
he was saying, and
I
I don't know
invest in
nothing
look,
about stocks, so I would love to hear this part.
when it comes to stocks. I think the last thing I ever invested in when it came to stocks was it was Apple years ago. But that's the last thing I ever did when it came to stocks. Actually,
Well,
I did for Nike when Oregon was popping. But other than
you need to
that,
be
I
careful.
got my 401k. Um, I got my life insurance, and I'm into crypto right now. That's what I invest in crypto. Really,
Well, thank goodness I had some good liberal white folks who had instructed me and taught me that you put very little into crypto and go heavy in the stock, what they call long-term freightliner stocks that companies that have lasted a while, Fortune 500 companies, Dow Jones, they tend to be. So whatever little secrets, whatever you're learning or you're doing in your area, understand that people are doing it in other places as well. It's not unique
yeah,
to
I get
Texas.
it.
It's not
I
unique.
benefit a lot from crypto, bro. I benefit a lot
I
with
did too,
investing into that.
but it's still a lot more. It's not as reliable as stocks for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I get what you're saying, but with the stock investments
Far
I
more
actually did in
volatile.
the past, when I sold them, I've been pretty good. I've been pretty good after selling them. I don't think I should have sold them to be honest with you, but it allowed me to get this far into invest in other things and accumulate property, make sure my family's good, everything else. So, I shouldn't have sold my
Yeah.
stocks, but I
I
know
think
that
everybody
it
thinks that.
helped me get here, but I would like to get get back into it, but I'm good, bro. My family's good. My kids are good. Everyone's good, you know,
Right. That's
and
good.
my kids don't have to get a scholarship when they graduate. They already had the money to go to college. Yeah. It's shit like that. That's just, I'm 31 years old and I'm going to retire at 35 years old. I tell myself
Hi,
that and I tell everybody that I'm
hi
retiring at
guys.
35 fucking years old.
Hi
And that's what I'm
guys.
going to do. I'm
That's the
retiring at
move.
35.
Let's stay
Oh
neutral.
shit,
I
Do
just
what we're
wanted
doing
you
I
to know
don't
here.
speak
I still
English.
appreciate you, dope. I still appreciate you, dope, and I appreciate your hard work because you're a good dude. You aggravate
Yeah,
me a little bit, but you're a good dude.
it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
'Cause at any point,
I like
I love
that
you,
too.
but my mind is so
You already
focused. Like
know.
I have tunnel vision. So you may be disagree with what I got going, but I have a focus,
I don't
and
think
I
you're a
do
bad
maybe I
person,
do.
so like it's fine. Like I don't think what you're doing is at all wrong. Like at all. I don't think how you feel about things is wrong. I don't think the way you want to go about building your community is wrong. I just be wanting to talk to you on a bigger scale
I'm
because
blunt.
like Because you know,
I'm
like the individual level, like yeah, that's important. All of that is important. How we eat, how our spiritual mind is, how our inner self is. All of that stuff is important. But
just
what a
go
lot
with
of
me
things that
talking
I'm
me
talking
through.
about, because being that I grew up in the hood, like I grew up in the projects, and I was one. I think I grew up in a building. I think it was my dad was one of 5 fathers in the building. So like I was lucky to be able to move the way I moved and go places the way I used to go places. Like a lot of my friends did not grow up the same way I grew up, so I recognize that. And I think that's what
I,
the beauty is of living in the city. You get to see different types of families as opposed to living in a country where you're kind of around the same type of people.
that's why I tell y'all, come out here. And I admire the fact, look, big ups to your father, your family, because you're an amazing woman. Very beautiful, very
Oh, thank
amazing. You have a
you.
lot of intelligence, a lot of intelligence. I mean, shit, I've learned a lot of shit from you every time you hop on panels on some real shit. But it's just a thing. A lot of people know that I don't talk, just like I talk on Bigo, I talk to people in real life, and it's never stopped me from being successful. Yeah, I'm not
Right.
being an asshole. I'm not being an anal. I'm just a blunt person, and I'm just telling you
Mhm.
how. Look, if you need help, I can help you. But if you, that's just what it is with me, and that's no disagreement. But I mean, shit, if it works, and if you ask me for help, this is what I can tell you. If it may not work for you, it may not. But I just want to help fucking people, really, and this has worked
Yeah.
for me for years of my life. So come to country. A lot of people, I've helped a shitload of people on Bigo. I've
So you say
helped a
you want
shitload of
to
people on
help
Bigo.
people. Can you start with giving me a car? Start right
Man,
there.
Well,
I've
Rob,
done
no, you
enough.
didn't
I
come
done
back
paid
on that.
light bills. I done paid rent. I done paid for give people food and everything on Bigo. Over fucking 50 people on Bigo. I paid bills and rent and light and utilities and all this shit for.
Yeah,
I
I
used to
just
have
want
a,
that car.
a
So
charity hour. I mean, for people. It's just
Right,
you know
but
what I'm
like
saying.
that
Now,
that is important. That all of that is important as hell because like at the end of the day, like not everybody is at at they worst of their worst. Sometimes people just slip up a little bit. They need a little help here and now and again.
hey,
You know
you
what I
guys
mean?
gonna
I'm
Like
make
there
more than
for it.
that. I
I'm
yeah,
there
I
it's
for it.
like they got it next month. Like they not coming back every single month, but like sometimes things
make them a
happen.
little question.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and I want to know. I want you to let you know who inspired me for this. I don't know if you know Mr. Eddie, Mr. Say Say.
No, I don't think I ran
I know
into
a lot
him
of people.
yet.
I know a lot of people can't stand him. But that man, he live in Dallas, Texas. I live in Dallas, Texas. He's helped over 40 to 50 people in his life. Had them stay with him to get them on their feet. Now, a lot of people don't know that about Mr. Say Say. He may be a drunk, but that man, before he was a drunk, helped a lot of fucking people. Even people that are on Bigo, he's helped to allow them to live in his house. Real
Can I
shit.
can I say something? I
Of
just feel like
course.
a lot of people feel as though like when you help a person that's really helping them. Like I bumped into this guy, he was like, man, all I want to do is be a millionaire so I can help homeless people, right? And I said, how is that helping them? He said, because it's getting them off the street. And I said, but then what? Like you help them get off the street, but then what? Did they have the knowledge to stay off the street? And I think a lot of times we people just want a quick fix, but we're not learning how to get out of this situation. We're just, in a temporary band-aid, but the scar has not gotten healed.
That's
Still
true.
messed up. So it's good
Yeah.
that people are doing that for the community, but like most of those people, like people be trying to help people as far as the jail system, about people getting off the streets, drug addicts and all this other stuff. But what we normally see is they go back
That's
and then
true.
you try to help them again and stuff like that. It's like where we gonna get to a point where, eventually they don't need our help. They don't need a
Yeah,
clutch.
you can't help who doesn't want to be helped. I remember like with my ex-wife about in like 2016, I was with my ex-wife And then we went to Walmart, and there was a dude on the side of the road. Since we were going to the grocery store already, my ex-wife was like, let's get him a few groceries. All right, cool. All right, whatever. So we got him a few groceries, like a case of water and, a few different things that we thought he may need, some socks and stuff like that. My ex-wife, we pulled up on the corner of that light off the highway. We set all that stuff next to him. As soon as we drove down, we curved off the out of Walmart. We're at the stoplight, and we seen this dude, that homeless dude, throw a case of water. He threw that case of water down the water drain, the sewage drain. He threw a lot of shit there in that sewage drain. Whatever he wanted out of what we gave him, he kept. But he threw a lot of other shit. Like, we were like, what? My wife was like, what the fuck? I'm like, see, I really didn't want to do it. She had a big heart. I really didn't want to do it, but I'm like, see, look, you can't help people who don't want to be fucking helped. I can go to him every day and give him $50, but the best thing I can do is really offer him a job. If he don't want the job, I know I can't help him. Really,
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. As far as helping wise, show them how to be able, like you said, show them how to be able to do it without needing the system. Like you saying, you doing agriculture and stuff like that, farming. There's going to come a time period where everybody's going to be farming. It's good that you got cattle, and I don't know if you butchered them, but I don't know
I
what
don't
you are
butcher him, mama.
eating or
I don't
whatever.
butcher him at all. I don't do it.
But it's just it's good that everybody is just like really educating themselves as far as their body wise. The things that they're watching. They're more in tune with ingredients and all this other stuff. Like all of that needs to be into play because like knowledge is power. Like clearly. So
Yeah. But if I come off as an asshole, Will Rise, a queen, I'm be honest, I love y'all to death. But I work all day. I work a lot for myself because I just don't have enough patience. And I'm really focused on me retiring at 35. I'm 31. I'm trying to focus on that. And a lot of questions I get asked or any topic that's being presented, I just have a tunnel vision as far as the answers. So, you may see as me taking it personal, but it's just like, shit, if I can do it, other people can. Because I don't see people making excuses. I understand that people don't have they don't have a sense of direction in their lives or anything like that. I'm not speaking on y'all because y'all got y'all shit together. Y'all, I learned a lot of shit from y'all.
I don't have my
But when
stuff
it
together.
comes,
That's why I'm asking for a car.
I'm talking about, as men. I mean, shit. Like, I get it because even fully, I don't have my shit together. But I don't make it as an excuse as to blame anybody else. If I fuck up or something happens, I say, you know what? Boom. I count to three. Boom. I get back up and I keep moving. Shit, I don't dwell on my issues or in my downfalls. I keep moving. And a lot of people like to just sit there and dwell in that because once you focus on things in the past that you failed on, it's depression, and things that you ain't obtained in the future, it's anxiety. That's one thing I learned. And once you do that, you're not gonna get anywhere. You got to focus on right now, whether you're up or down. Life keeps going, and what are you doing with your time? That's how I am. Keep moving.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
may
I
come off
feel
as an
you.
asshole to y'all.
I mean, I feel what you're saying. It's just that I just recognize that not everybody is born with that mind frame. I recognize that not everybody has been given the same opportunity that me and you have. Like just you having a dad in your life, you are like miles ahead of a lot of men out there. You didn't have a struggle that a lot of men have out there. And the struggle is a lot of the time where they get lost. And a lot of especially like these little black boys, a lot of they're making these mistakes when they're 13, 14, 15, and it ruins their lives
It's a
to the
struggle for
point
me
where they're
because
where
I'm one of
they're like
my only
tripped
siblings,
up
Queen.
before they even get there, huh?
I'm gonna be personal with you right now, Queen.
Mhm.
I'm one of 8 siblings, right?
Mhm.
I'm the only sibling that my parents can trust. two of my oldest brother, he passed away 2 years ago. This day, it's his anniversary today. He got killed.
I'm sorry to hear
Okay,
that.
and then my second oldest brother lives with my parents. My third oldest brother lives with my parents.